Confronted my pirate-dressed friend about her Halloween post, while our offended friend leads a harsh campaign against her ignorance. I, female 21, have a friend my age who loves dressing up for all occasions, especially Halloween. This year she was inspired by our local Renaissance festival to dress up as a pirate, but not just any pirate, as Amazon Prime labeled the costume a pirate gypsy. A group of us decided to meet up for a group picture at a church trick or trunk with some of our kiddos, and another friend of mine, male 23, complimented her on her outfit. She went all out with jewelry, a hat, swords, fake scars, etc. When she later posted pictures on social media, she captioned it actually calling herself a pirate gypsy. I thought nothing of this, as I really never cared for what a gypsy is. Not being mean, I just never really thought about it in truth. Hours after this post, there was a text screenshotting her post sent to a newly made and separate group chat without this friend. It was, "Let's go with Jay, from the trick or trunk." He was absolutely livid at her for the post, saying he was grossed out by her insensitivity and outright racist behavior. I asked what in the world he was talking about, and when him and another friend explained to me why it's considered a slur to Romani people, I agreed her post was not good, but I highly doubted she knew of this. This isn't someone I could ever see being outwardly hateful to really anyone for anything. Especially not on social media. Another friend suggested that if I was so confused, maybe she was. That it could be an innocent mistake and an issue of just not knowing. Jay, however, claims that ignorance is not an excuse for a full display of cultural appropriation and racism. He may have a point to that, but I would really like to message this friend or speak to her personally on this, just to get her perspective. But he says it's too late for any of that. That she's not special and shouldn't be forgiven whether she knows what she posted was harmful or not. He says she is no longer invited to tomorrow's Halloween bash, and he is going to block her on all social media forms, not wanting to associate with a racist. I say he's blown this way out of proportion because we don't even know what her intentions were. Well, they don't. But I do. Because I messaged her. I asked her why she chose her costume. That's how I found out about the Renaissance Fair inspo and the Amazon Prime costume pieces. I haven't even told her about Jay and the rest of the group chat yet, and she literally said to me, "Oh, the costume is a gypsy pirate on Amazon," with a screenshot. Does this prove I'm right? No. Does this kinda open the door to the possibility I may be right? Yes. So, I wanna wait. I don't wanna just cut someone off who may not know they even did anything wrong. Update 1. So I decided to take some of your advice and basically messages Mia, as we will call her, asking her about her own version of events. I was worried someone else may have already messaged her, but based on our conversation I don't think so. To put it simply, she claims to have had no idea that the word gypsy could be seen as offensive to members of their community, and immediately changed her post to say she was a Renaissance pirate. I tried to take it as a moment to educate like you all suggested, and she was receptive of that and very apologetic. Thought I explained I don't feel she had anything to be sorry to me for. I was offended, I have no right to be, but I just want her to be aware for the future. Around this same time I decided not to tell her about what Jay had said, hoping to message him myself and smooth some things over by explaining her perspective. I knew he wasn't open to listening at first, but he had a few hours to cool down, so maybe it was worth a shot. Maybe this didn't need to be a big blow up where someone's feelings got hurt. Well, if there was any chance of that, Jay set that chance on fire and poured on it gasoline when he edited Mia out of our group photo. Now in her place was either a big white blurry area or half an eyeball from a poorly cropped selfie. Mia saw this and started messaging the original chat, asking Jay what was wrong and if she'd upset him somehow. Remember when he said he was blocking her on all socials? Well, I guess that was a lie, because he was still in the chat with her and responded, saying that we had made a decision as a group to no longer associate with her. I was absolutely stunned. I couldn't believe what I was reading, and honestly I'm still at a loss for what made him think this was a good idea to say he speaks for all of us, especially where we all can see it and answer for ourselves. Mia kept typing and deleting while Jay spam messaged her about how gross her behavior was, and she can't just change the post now. You can't turn back time and change what you said like a coward. At some point we were notified Mia left the group chat, and I just feel awful for not reaching out sooner. Everyone started to argue with Jay that he was wrong for all of that and really needed to relax, maybe not speak for the rest of us as we are also adults, etc. The only way he seemed to know how to respond was with, "Well, I don't regret it. I've said what I have to say." Well, I beg to differ. So that's when I screen recorded the entire Snapchat convo in the group chat he made without Mia. I have not sent this or shown this to her. I am currently trying to calm her down along with her life partner, who is calling my roommate all confused. Roommate is the friend with the barn. Hopefully by tomorrow I have more of an actual update as to whether we think Jay and Mia can, and even should, maintain a friendship or keep in the same circle of friends. At the end of the day I've already decided myself that if this breaks us and I have to choose a side, I choose Mia. Because everyone makes mistakes, and I really think that's all her post/costume was. Again, thank you for all of the advice, and I will try to keep you all updated as things play out. Sorry for any typos, I am absolutely exhausted. Happy November 1st. Edit/add. No, we did not just sit by while Jay said our group made a decision. Update 2. It was less than 9 hours ago I posted an update on this situation, and already so much has happened since I woke up around 7 o'clock this morning. First of all, we do have a new group chat that is appropriately called Feels Very High School without Jay in it or his best friend, who has been a pretty silent party in all of this. We have nothing against him, but we are irritated as he was watching the entire time Jay went off in the group chat and spoke for the rest of us. Which, by the way, I do apologize for not being more clear. We absolutely stuck up for Mia while she was still in the group chat, minus the one. Now that I'm more awake and have the time to type it all out, I will elaborate further on what exactly he said. More fake names below. This is typed out word for word as I'm not comfy sharing the screenshots online. Some parts skipped over for time and reading purposes. Mia: hey Jay. Is everything okay between us? Your post kinda hurt my feels. Jay: don't act like you don't know what you did. I don't believe for a second you did not learn about the G-word slur in high school just like the rest of us. Jay: you don't get a pass just because you're stressed or whatever. Mike: no one cares. Who making jello shots? Jay: and do not give me that nonsense about you going to a private school, they learn it there, too. Mia: Jay, I am sorry, I really didn't have any idea. Are you Romany? I had no clue. Emily: will you calm down, Jesus Christ, it isn't that deep, dude. Jay: ignorance and disrespect to others is just king disgusting. Jay: no one wants you at the party tonight, by the way. Jay: we all agreed you shouldn't come over if you are fine being so uneducated. Reddit op, wth? Reddit op: Mia, we absolutely did not. Mia: Reddit op told me earlier I changed my post. Jay: it was not on purpose. Mia: you guys have another group? Jay: we don't want to associate ourselves with like that online. Mia: Jay: you understand. Jay: okay, no. Emily: Mia, no one said that he's a $y and made another group chat. Emily: to spew his crap. Jay: because you were being willfully ignorant here. Jay: honestly, it was really gross. Jay: Emily, of course you agree with her. Mike: I'm more worried about my alcohol than I am this shit. You don't speak for literally anyone. Jay: stop being a shithead. Mike isn't an alcoholic, he's just trying to lighten the mood, I think. That was weird. Jay: it literally isn't my fault. Reddit/op, Jay, you better get that stick out of your ass. Jay: she keeps on saying she didn't know, she absolutely does, and you're all making excuses for her. Ignorance is not an excuse for her very public display of cultural appropriation and use of slurs. Mike: dude needs a break. Evan: Mia is not a racist. Quit. Mia leaves at some point and we go back and forth for a while. Jay: what if she had said the N-word? Jay: she is white. Reddit op, are you being serious? Emily: everyone knows the N-word is bad. Jay: that is not the same. Reddit/op, she left your an ass. Jay: because she knows I'm wrong. Jay: not wrong. Reddit/op, Jay, she really did take this as a learning moment. You definitely need to calm down. You and I both know that Mia would never post something she thought could be perceived as offensive. It was just like we said earlier, she had no idea it was even a bad thing to say. Just like I wasn't aware before you told me. This was a mistake and you have blown this totally out of proportion. I don't know how else to put it or what else she can do other than have changed her post and apologized. Jay: you always play devil's advocate and it's honestly exhausting. Jay: tiring person. Jay: deleting her post doesn't mean to the people she offended. TF? Reddit/op, who did she offend? Emily: who do you know directly she offended? Jay: she offended an entire culture and race. As you can see, I did skip a few things just for time's sake. I haven't responded since those messages, but Emily and Mike hashed it out with him for a bit. Evan is at work today, so who knows where his head's even at. Mia didn't say much to Jay, but she has been vocal in our Feels Very High School chat. She left because she felt attacked and said she didn't have the energy to deal with all of the drama right now. She doesn't know if she will dress up tonight. Jay has pretty much ruined the pirate costume for her, I think, no matter what it is called. Her life partner is encouraging her to just let it go and have fun tonight, while Emily, my roommate with the barn, is pretty certain she wants to tell Jay he isn't invited on her mother's property. She's really upset with the way he just dismissed what we all have been telling him, and we agree his retaliation to what Mia posted wasn't just uncalled for, it was honestly insane, especially with the whole blurring her out of photos online. I told her I'm 100% on board with asking Jay to stay away if he can't let it go and be civil tonight. Next on the agenda, a lot of you have asked if maybe Jay has another personal issue with Mia. I asked. Mia just dropped a bombshell of a puzzle piece before I finished up this post, which she does know exists now, and I'm allowed to share what she said. This is from Mia: I wonder if he found out I didn't lie for him. He left to use the restroom for over an hour again and they asked me about it. Mia and Jay are both med students at the same department with not enough nurses to go around. Oftentimes they will help. I'm not in the medical field, so I don't know much aside from that Mia is apparently the youngest MS they've had in a while, to get patients in a room. Mia said it's important to tell you they do not take vitals without a nurse, they just help get them situated. Jay apparently has been going off to use the restroom at random times of day for unusually long periods of time, or set off to help the nurses out again. Mia was pulled aside one day and asked by his supervising physician where Jay went again. Mia said she wasn't sure. The manager later came and asked her also. She was honest this time and said he claimed he really had to use the restroom a while ago. She brushed the interaction off for the time being and went on with whatever she does during that time. But here's the part that makes all of this even more relative and really makes us go Emily says one of the reasons Jay gave her for why he left the church trick to trunk early was he had an important phone call scheduled with his supervisor. Again, not sure how this med student works and Mia is busy at the moment so she can't really elaborate further, but we're all assuming that the timeline matches way too perfect. After hearing all of this, I honestly changed my mind. Maybe we should be the ones to go on a blocking spree and cut Jay out of our lives for possibly trying to use Mia's mistake as a way to seek his revenge. Not sure what to do at the moment, but Emily really doesn't want to see his face now if our assumptions are correct, because what the actual hell. Lastly, I do want to add before I go that I will again make edits and clarifications as needed. I hope I explained all that correctly. Let me know how I can help you better understand. Update 4. Since some people think our friend group's drama is more entertaining than TLC/Lifetime, I've decided to type it as such in my slightly tippy stupor. I'm gonna leave you all on a beloved cliffhanger. Here is your 8 o'clock update this fine November 1st night. Jay was told not to show up here. Jay is pulling up here now. Now I say. Okay, bye, I'll be back tomorrow at some point. Oop, that's exactly how I feel. I don't think this was ever about him even having a white savior complex or anything like that. If the numbers are adding up right, he was looking for something to hurt her with. But that being said, we don't know for 100%. This went an entirely different direction than what I expected. Update 5. Good morning. Well, afternoon for me, but I also just got over a massive hangover, so it feels like my day is just actually getting started. I left you all off on a poorly typed cliffhanger last night when Jay pulled up to the barn. Emily formally uninvited him as I was typing the last update part 2 and opened it, but never responded. After a few more hateful messages both personally and in group chats, he went silent for hours. No one heard or saw him until his best friend's car pulled up. We hadn't uninvited his friend because although he was in the group chat, no one is really super close to him. It's all around a weird situation, but he seems like a nice enough guy if we're honest. He pulled up, and when I watched from the side as Jay popped out of the passenger side, that is when I made my last post. We did convince Mia it was okay to wear her costume as planned, and her partner was busy in the nearby house helping make drinks, so he didn't initially see Jay arrive. Jay got out of his car and was pretty quiet. Most of the other people there, friends of friends, a few dates and neighbors, etc., had no idea what was going on, but I swear to God the air still felt tense even to a few of them because his body language was super strange. He seemed already drunk, maybe high, but we aren't sure. Despite that, it was fine up until I told Emily he was there and asked if she needed help asking him to leave. Instead, we decided to wait it out for a moment, see if he would act civil, and then I realized in my tipsy stupor that, honestly, someone should ask Mia if she was uncomfortable with him being there. She is the one who was attacked. This isn't just about him speaking for us, it's about his hate towards her. So I straight up asked if she wanted him to leave. She said if he came up to her or made any comments, probably. But she also chose to give him a chance, which he didn't really deserve, to just mind his own business. Sadly, that is not what happened. Not even close. It was fine, again a little tense, but overall he stayed in his own lane until a little while later. He seemed even more out of it, taking off the tie to his costume, American Psycho, and losing it somewhere. He became really loud and slurred his words. I'm assuming his best friend was supposed to be his DD but also started drinking, but at some point left, not in his own car, still here this morning. We are hoping to hear back from him soon, and I'll let everyone know when he is found safe. Jay came up to one of us for the first time the entire night, asking to crash here instead of seeing about a car service. Mike, who is Emily's boyfriend, said absolutely not, and then someone, I don't remember who, jumped in saying that Mia was staying the night and that, even if she says it's fine, they know it isn't. Jay absolutely lost his shit. He started screaming things we could barely understand, but collectively this is what we put together. Mia, Mia, Mia. Everyone chooses Mia, who do we all care? She a racist. Looks like a slut in costume. He also sounded like he was saying something about a tase, but Mike thinks it was actually tease. Like I said, he was basically gone at this point, and it was even hard to understand when he was asking to spend the night. Mia's fiancé was right behind him. He didn't even know Jay had arrived because he was bartending inside the house, and this is how he found out Jay was there. Not sure how he didn't know sooner, because where the hell did Jay get the alcohol if not at the makeshift bar area in the kitchen? Anyway, so he basically grabbed Jay by the back of his dress shirt and started to force him outside. We encouraged the few people who saw to keep partying and followed him to make sure he didn't end up catching a case before we saw him literally throw him in a tub. Those big water containers for animals. Jay shot himself out of there and fell flat on his ass in the dirt yelling. Mia was full on sobbing at this point. Yes, she was with us when all of this went down. Jay started mumbling shit and Mike took him off somewhere, according to him calling Jay a car service because his phone was drenched and ruined. Mia was pretty much sober through most of this and remembers things better than the rest of us. Apparently she did have a brief interaction with Jay when the rest of us were off doing something. He just kinda looked her over and rolled his eyes before walking off, according to her. We also found out earlier today that Jay was heard talking about Mia's social media post with a few people there. I'm going to look into this further. She has blocked him on everything at the ask of her partner because of all this. I personally don't want to speak to Jay anymore after everything. I don't want a friend like this, and I don't want friends who stick around people like this. Emily and Mike feel the same, while Evan wants to talk it out with Jay, when sober, first, and see what all of this is really about. Truly, I regret even being dumb enough to let him stick around and feel me and Emily messed up by even giving him this chance to be around. I now think we should have made him leave from the start. Update 6. Jay's friend resurfaced for his car a few hours ago. A lot to get into, but let's just say his family almost got police involved because he went missing for nearly 24 hours. It turns out the reason he left was not because of drunkenness, but because he would have caught a case if he hadn't. In coming back to get his car as we were all cleaning up from the Boo Bash, he stopped by to spill a few beans himself. I feel like I'm living an actual TV drama and I might need a sleeping pill. Any suggestions? I feel a migraine coming on, and you might too after this one. Here comes more "this is so fake" comments. Get ready for it. Jay has been having an affair with his best friend's wife. Before his friend found out about said affair, Jay confided in him a few struggles of his own prior to the discovery, including that he was not only informed he needed to seek a new practice to complete his medical internship, or whatever you call what they are doing for MS, but what Jay said he was doing in the bathroom. Edit to add, Jay has self-diagnosed sex addiction. He claims Jay said to have been beating it off with cam girls and on the hub. He also said that Jay had a thing for Mia about a year ago, but then she met her fiancé and their engagement about a month ago has sent him in a full spiral ever since. Along with that, he actually has had Jay's wallet this whole time, so who knows how the man paid his ride home or wherever he went. If this was not my life I wouldn't believe this shit, but honestly it's starting to make sense. He says he learned about Jay and his wife's affair because Jay was so wasted and out of it at one point that him, being the dumbass he was, gave him his phone to take a picture of Jay and Evan. In the corner of his camera roll was a nude image of this man's wife. I don't know what else to say but what the actual fuck, and this is probably the end of the updates because I've learned too much and my involvement with these people probably ends here. Maybe. Who knows, this man is an insane narcissist, possibly. Goodbye my friends. I suspected this would not be over and I was right. I hadn't realized it at the time because, as I've said before, no one was all that close to Jay's friend, Zach. Well, Emily got curious and looked up Zach's Facebook again because she got to thinking and she was like, aren't they having a baby? Like, actually? Didn't get where she was coming at first, but the gasp that left my body. Sweet baby Jesus help us all. Yes, according to his cheating wife's public posts, she is expecting. She is almost 6 months along. Now let me leave you all with this image because if it is in my and I'm telling you all about this chaos, you're going to have to live with it also. Zach's visibly pregnant wife, belly and all, was having an affair with his best friend for an unknown amount of time. And that poor man found out about it via an image of said wife who we can only assume, if it was recent, included that baby bump. What the actual hell? I'm not sure it gets much worse, but I'm honestly scared to say that because it just seems to keep going. Speaking of which, Mia took your advice and sent an email to his supervising physician and the management at said practice. Emily helped her type it up, so it basically says Jay is a sicko and a psycho who may try to ruin my reputation in a more professional manner. I forgot to mention Zach left the wallet with us last night because he refuses to see Jay, but we do too, so how the hell he is getting that back we do not know. I edited it into my lash update, but Jay also is self-diagnosed with sex addiction. I forgot to add that is why Zach said he was beating in the bathrooms. Oh, and prayers for Cocoa Puff, Evan's golden doodle, because apparently he is sick. Bye.